And he deals high and outside for ball one. The game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. The pitch. Sanchez pops it up behind the plate. Kelly shielding himself from the sun, but this one's in the stands, out of play. Just off to the right along the first baseline. So the count is 1-1. Sanchez with a renaissance in Toronto. Spent most of his career with Miami. Also played for Pittsburgh, hitting .287 coming into play today with 7 home runs and 29 RBIs. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front of a knuckle curve, 1-2.
Speed Gun today, that's powered by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. That pitch, very good pitch. He's going to be in the mid-80s with the knuckle curve. Sometimes a little lower. Sometimes he humps up on it a little. I think adrenaline probably has something to do with that, with the game.
A 1-2 by Brown. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a knuckle curveball. Blue Jays go down in order here in the top of the first. Middle one, no score. Cubs and Toronto on the score. And the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs? Or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker, too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume really matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker.
Buy at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Cubs and Blue Jays scoreless as we get set for the bottom of the first here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Pete Crow Armstrong gets a hit. Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $200 to Service Dog Charities. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Veteran right-hander Kevin Gausman on the hill for the Blue Jays. He's 4-4 with a 3.41 ERA in 15 starts. And no one on the Cubs has been hotter than Pete Crow Armstrong, who's homered in 3 straight games for the first time in his career. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. And PCA looks at a splitter low, 1-0 the count. What's the key against a guy like Gausman?
Gausman's a guy, he's very good. Good fastball, good split finger. He's got a slider, doesn't use it a lot. He's basically, 2.5 pitches because the slider he throws under 10%.
That time misses with a splitter again low, 2-0 the count.
So that's the pitch you can't chase. It's the splitter down. You've got to make him get that ball up if you get behind in the count. He's going to try to throw the high fastball at the top of the zone or above, but a lot of strikes with the fastball. And then the split is either a steal strike type pitch, or he's going to bury it down at your shoe tops.
The pitch. This is high with a splitter, 3-0 the count. Okamoto, the third baseman, is playing in. Now he moves very wide of the third base bag and on the edge of the infield grass. Gosman works on the third base side of the rubber. They kick and pitch. And PCA takes ball 4 low. So a nice start to the first for Crow Armstrong and the Cubs.
And a very rare walk for Gosman. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So you know that he is very concerned about what Pete can do from that leadoff spot, because he had all those pitches were right around the edges of the zone, but he was not going to go in the middle of the strike zone against Pete.
Alex Bregman now digs in, right-handed batter. The pitch in there for a strike with a fastball clocked at 93 miles per hour, 0-1. Bregman on the year hitting at .250, 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in. He's hitting nearly .300 over his last 7 games with 1 bomb. PCA being held on at first by Guerrero. Gosman deals, and Bregman looks at a ball outside, 1-1 the count. Walks of Cubs batters, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Bregman waits. Gosman delivers. The 1-1, low and outside. 2-1 now on Bregman.
Now, Feel Like a Bosch prediction, brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel Like a Bosch. We had an interesting Bosch on what's today now? Today's Friday. On Wednesday, It was Judson's deal. That was impressive.
Really was. The 2-1. Gosman to Bregman. Now a throw to first. Diving back in, Pete Crow Armstrong.
So Gosman there holding the ball. So he comes set and then holds the ball till you get right to the end of the pitch clock, and then he threw over to first. So he's going to play the pitch clock game against the opposing hitter today, I got to believe.
PCA goes, the pitch low and outside, throw to second, nowhere near in time, stolen base. Pete Crow Armstrong, number 17 on the year for PCA.
Well, that's the one thing about him you're going to be able to do is run. He throws a lot of splits, so that makes it difficult on the catcher. And then he's a big, tall guy, so he can be a little on the slow side to home plate. Kirk made a good throw and got rid of the ball in good shape, but Pete just outran the play. Stolen bases by the Cubs are sponsored by Atturo. Chicago's hometown tire. Get called safe with Atturo tires. Find yours at Atturo.com.
So PCA in scoring position. Bregman at the plate with a 3-1 count. No one out here in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch. Called strike fastball. 94 miles per hour. I don't think Bregman liked that call. It's right near the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, that ball middle of the plate at the knees.
So a full count. Crow Armstrong at second base. Gosman takes a peek there and deals. And Bregman looks at ball 4, a slider that missed low and outside. Back-to-back walks by Gosman to begin this ball game. And the Cubs have men at first and second with no one out and Michael Busch due up.
This is very rare that he is walking some guys. And let's see, for the season, so far this season, in 87 innings, he had 16 walks. So you got 2 in the first 2 hitters. That's pretty rare.
Let's see if the Cubs can take advantage. Michael Busch digs in, left-handed batter against the right-hander Gosman. The pitch. A swing and miss by Busch at a splitter. 0-1. Gosman, 6'2", 205 pounds. He's 35 years old. Coming off a quality start against the Yankees last time out. 7 innings of 1-run ball, 7 strikeouts.
And no walks in that game.
The pitch. An awkward check swing and a miss. Busch in the hole, 0-2. Another splitter from Gosman.
Back-to-back splitters, and both of them, right at the shoe tops. You have to get the splitter up. And I'll say this, that's really easy to say from sitting in this seat than being in that batter's box. It comes out looking like a fastball, and the ball just disappears on you and backs up. It's a very good pitch.
Gosman looks at second. That's where Crow Armstrong is. And the 0-2. Busch, tapper up the third base line. It's fielded by Okamoto. His throw to first in time to get Bush, but the runners advance. PCA now at third, Bregman at second, one down here in the bottom of the first, and the red-hot cleanup man, Seiya Suzuki, due up.
That could be the best check swing Michael Bush has had in his big league career. That worked out perfect. You couldn't bunt the ball any better. You're behind in the count. He makes a good pitch with the split. You check swing, and you roll one out there like the best bunt you've ever had in your life. So now the Cubs with two men in scoring position and one out.
I'll give him a sacrifice swing for that.
Yeah, perfect.
So Suzuki digs in against Gausman. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Seiya looks at a ball high and outside, a slider that missed, 1-0. Seiya's been locked in, Coom, over his last 18 games, hitting .328. He's knocked in 12 runs during that time. Men at second and third, one down, scoreless game, bottom of the first. Gausman's ready. Here's the pitch. And Seiya looks at a strike, a slider that spins into the zone, 1-1.
Okay, Judson, you were very impressive on Wednesday. We're looking for a Bosch prediction. You were awesome the other day.
I was.
We're going to give you another shot at this. That was good.
Here's the 1-1. Suzuki looks at a ball inside, but
pitch is called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
The Blue Jays are going to challenge this fastball on the inner edge.
This ball strike challenge is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, and Kirk
The
is
call
right.
is overturned. Toronto has two remaining.
Okay, so now the count is 2-2. Judson, are you ready?
I am ready. Gentlemen, I was leading with hope last time. I'm going to direct it the same way. I'm going to call for Nico Horner, extra base hit today.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Seiya waits for the 1-2, excuse me. Here it comes. And that's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Defensive alignment. It's sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment, material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. And Toronto, being an American League team, obviously, their outfielders playing Cubs hitters so far today, all straight away. Dead straight in center and left and right.
The pitch. Seiya swings, and it's a high fly ball down the right field line, ranging over his Pinyango. It's a fair ball that bounces in. 1 run scores. PCA crosses the plate around third, racing home Bregman. He's going to score. 2-run double, Seiya Suzuki, and the Cubs strike first, a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays. The ball was blocked from our view. Pinyango, Sanchez, the right fielder, disappeared from our view in the corner. And he's pointing to the Blue Jays bench. We're taking a look at the replay now. Where did this ball end up?
Well, the ball's hit down the right field line, and it's a Wrigley Field hit. When you haven't played here much, you know that the line and the wall are right next to each other. You have to get to the wall early to make a play or slide into it. He did neither, and the ball hit the tip of his glove and ends up being a double.
So the Cubs strike first. Seiya Suzuki with a 2-run double, 2-0 Cubs. Ian Happ at the plate and looks at a ball off the outside from Gausman.
Friendly confines, very friendly for the Cubs. Maybe not so friendly for our friends from north of the border.
Here's the 1-0. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Surprising, though, because Sanchez has played here before in the National League with Miami and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but when you haven't, you hadn't played here a lot, and you just got here, I just think that's a Wrigley Field hit as an opposing outfield. That's a tough play.
Pitch outside, 2-1 now on Happ.
And with the wind blowing kind of towards the left field corner, that really makes that ball hit to right slice more. So you think you're on it, and it just keeps boring and slicing away from you. Just a tough play. It worked out great for the Cubs.
The 2-1, swing and a miss by Happ, 2-2. That's splitter from Gausman. Doubles by Cubs batters, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. So 2-2 the count on Happ. Suzuki at second base, 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Cubs up 2-0. Now the pitch. It's low. Happ's worked a full count.
Happer's done a good job not chasing that splitter down. He took a pretty good swing on I believe it was a 2-1 pitch splitter.
Ian with 16 home runs this year. Happ waits for the payoff pitch. Gausman looks at second and deals. Outside, ball 4.
Wow.
Third walk issued in this first inning by Gausman.
Third walk of the inning. I can't believe the pitching coach hasn't come out yet. This has got to be a meeting soon. Kirk out there to talk to his right-hander. And, you just wonder, is this like not comfortable yet on the mound, not, comfortable in the surroundings, whatever that is. But you just don't see this guy walk hitters like this. This is third walk of the inning, and now let's see what happens. But walks, 2 of them have scored already. Let's see if another one will score.
Walks by Cubs batters, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. 2-0 Cubs, 1 down, bottom 1 against the Blue Jays, the opener of this 3-game weekend set. And the Cubs threatening. They've got men at first and second. Matt Shaw will dig in. Right fielder's been hot lately. Shaw hitting better than 400 over his last 7 games. Gausman delivers. And Shaw looks at a ball inside 1-0. Lance Barrett is the home plate umpire this afternoon. Malachi Moore manning first. Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief at second base. Mike Estabrook is the umpire at third. Now the 1-0. Inside again to Shaw. 2 balls, no strikes. The announcement of the umpire sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Cubs making Gausman work here in the first. He's thrown 26 pitches so far. Again, only 1 away. The 2-0 delivery is low.
Wow. Now, I knew he was trying to come in against Shaw with the first 2 pitches, and it ran off the plate well in. But he was trying to throw a strike there, and he just pulled that ball across the zone. Down and away. Good take by Matty.
So 3-0 the count on Shaw. The pitch. And that one misses again. Ball 4. Cubs have now loaded the bases again, 1 away, and Nico Horner will dig in.
4th walk of the inning by Gausman, a guy who doesn't walk anybody. And this pitch runs in again. So there's something he's dealing with that he's just not feeling comfortable on the mound. And, we always talk about good pitchers. When do you get them? Right here, early in a ball game before they get settled in. This is a big at-bat for the Cubs.
Righty-righty matchup with Horner at the plate. And the pitch. Nico looks at a fastball for a strike. Should say a slider for a strike.
Slider, because he doesn't feel comfortable with the other pitches to throw him for a strike. He uses a slider under 10%. He is basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball split.
Nico on the year hitting at .233. 0-1 the count. Bases loaded. Cubs up 2-0. Just 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Gausman delivers. And Nico fouls it out of play. Second deck off to the right. 0-2.
Nico got that fastball inside, and he was trying to inside out that ball to right.
Horner hitting around 100 over his last 7 games. 3 for 29. The pitch. Off the outside, 1-2. A splitter that missed. Suzuki at third, Happ at second, Shaw at first. 1 away, 2-0 Cubs. Here's the 1-2. Horner chases a pitch in the dirt, strike 3. And as he missed that splitter, 2 away.
Yeah, that's the splitter. That's the one you can't chase. He throws it. It comes out looking like a fastball, and it ends up down in the dirt. That ball actually bounced in front of home plate.
So 2 down. Carson Kelly will stand in for the Cubs, hitting at .277 this year with 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. 32 pitches have been thrown so far in this first inning by Gausman. Bases loaded. The pitch. Kelly swings, drills one deep in the air. Left field. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, gone. Grand slam, Carson Kelly. And it's a big first inning for the Cubs. They're now up 6-0 over the Blue Jays here in the first.
Well, we talked about Gausman being basically a 2-pitch pitcher. he has not felt comfortable throwing his split for a strike, or his fastball has been erratic. What does he go to? His third best pitch. He spins a little get-me-over slider, not so much. Kelly almost hits it off the video board and left for a long grand slam, and the Cubs with a big six spot here in the first.
A 428-foot bomb by Carson Kelly. 6-0 Cubs here in the first. Now Dansby Swanson hits a base hit to left. Cubs have batted around here in the first inning. And Pete Crow Armstrong will hit for the second time here in this lead frame.
Boy, who would have thought when Pete walked to lead off the game that by the time he comes back to the plate in the same inning, Cubs would be up 6-0.
So Swanson at first, 2 away, Crow Armstrong at the plate. Gosman delivers. High and outside, ball 1.
Boy, he just can't get that ball to stay on that side of the plate. That outside corner to lefties, inside corner to righties. That ball just keeps running off the edge of the strike zone.
Now the 1-0. Tap foul at the plate by PCA, but second consecutive game, Coom, in which the Cubs have taken advantage of a pitcher struggling early. Against the Rockies back on Wednesday night, it was Sean Sullivan, the rookie. And in the second inning, the Cubs pounced on him for 7 runs. And here in the first, a 6 spot against the veteran Kevin Gosman. Swanson at first base, 2 away. Crow Armstrong at the plate. Swanson goes the 1-1, squirts past the catcher, Kirk. Swanson will stay at second base after the stolen base. Count is 2-1 on PCA.
Good jump by Dansby at first. He was going to have this base stolen easily, but then Kirk doesn't handle the ball well. Stolen bases by the Cubs. They're sponsored by Turo, Chicago's hometown tire. Get called safe. Turo Tires. Find yours at turotire.com. Boy, you'd like to see Pete get a base knock here, driving that 7th run.
Crow Armstrong waits for the 2-1. Here it comes. Comebacker goes between the legs of the pitcher Gosman, fielded by the shortstop Jimenez, and his throw to first is not in time. Infield single for PCA. You knew as soon as that one got past Gosman, PCA was going to have a base hit.
I'm actually surprised the shortstop Jimenez coming in bare hands this ball, because if he doesn't make this catch clean and it trickles past him, Dansby's going to score because there's nobody behind him. And now after 10 hitters have hit, now there's a meeting on the mound. That's a long time before you had a meeting. I don't understand that. Fisher, a right-hander, warming up in the bullpen. And I don't think you can let this go on much longer. Maybe one more hitter. You can't have one of your ace guys going out there and throwing this many pitches. These 2 pitches from 40 pitches in an inning.
What a first for the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki, a 2-run double. Carson Kelly with a grand slam. And the Cubs still threatening. Men at the corners now after the infield single by PCA. And the batter is Alex Bregman as the right-hander Braden Fisher continues to warm up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Bregman walked earlier in this first inning. Got to think PCA is going to go here. He does. The pitch is fouled off the netting to the right by Bregman.
Fastball away. Bregman tried to pull it and just fouled it back. Pete had a huge jump at first. No one was going to throw him out.
Swanson's at third, Crow Armstrong at first. Bregman at the plate, 0-1 the count. Cubs off to a fast start here in the opener. Their 3-game set against the Blue Jays, up 6-0 in the first with 2 away. Bregman waits for the 0-1. Gosman delivers and lines one for a base hit to left. Swanson scores. PCA stops at second, and it's a 7 spot. 7-0 Cubs here in the first. RBI single, Alex Bregman.
Boy, it's unreal. I'm really shocked. This guy is a really good quality pitcher. That's another fastball up and right in the whopping zone of Bregman, and he smokes this ball to left field.
Michael Busch will hit for a second time here in this first inning. He grounded out to third his first time up. Men at first and second with 2 away. Cubs up 7-0. The pitch is low. Now, we mentioned last time out for Gausman was a quality start against the Yankees. 7 innings of 1-run ball. The previous 2 starts, 8 runs on 10 hits in 11 innings, and he's having that kind of an issue here today.
He's given up 4 walks and 5 hits in this inning. He's had games where that's been the line.
And the Cubs looking for more with 2 on and 2 out. The pitch to Bush. In there for a strike fastball. 1-1.
Yeah, this isn't a bet for Michael. You want to keep grinding, man. You got 2 men out there and a pitcher struggling. You want to do some damage.
The next pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. Another splitter from Gausman.
That might be the best splitter he's thrown. That one actually, the Cubs have swung at a few that weren't good splitters that were down, but that one acted exactly the way he wants it. Starts out in the zone, above the knees, and just drops down below the zone.
The 1-2. Bush grounds one on the right side, backhanding by a diving Guerrero. His throw to first just in time to get Bush as Gausman was able to beat him to the bag. That is out number 3, but listen to the crowd here at Wrigley Field on its feet. What a first for the Cubs. They put 7 runs on the board. It's 7-0 Cubs over Toronto as we head to the second on the Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk on your ride home. Spiegel and Holmes, afternoons 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's
Saints.com for full details.
7-0 Cubs after 1 over the Blue Jays. Our second inning brought to you by Seaglass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are. Here's Zach.
Thank you very much, Judson. Yohendrick Pinango looks at a fastball for a strike from Ben Brown to begin the top of the second. What a first for the Cubs. They put a 7 spot on the board, and they've got a 7-0 lead here in inning number 2. The big hit, Carson Kelly with a grand slam. Pinango, left-handed batter, against the right-hander Brown, and the pitch, and popped up right side of the infield. Bush right near the mound makes the catch for out number 1 as Pinango is retired.
A good start to the second inning, and this little knuckle curve right in under the hands to get the pop up. And for Browning now, you want to go on the attack. That's what you want to do. Just stick with your program, but really be on the attack and throwing strikes. You see what the walks can do on the other side of the field. So see if Browning can just do what he normally has been doing, and that's pump in strikes to fastball knuckle curve.
Alejandro Kirk leans out of the way of a blazing inside 94-mile-per-hour fastball, 1-0. Kirk hitting at 200 this season. The pitch. called strike. Fastball from Brown, 1-1 the count. The opener of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Blue Jays. It's a Friday afternoon here at Wrigley Field, so the Cubs wearing the powder blue tops, white pants, mostly blue caps with the white panel on the front. Powder blue socks, the pitch. And a high fly ball hit to center field. Routine for Pete Crow Armstrong. Makes the catch, angling toward right center. 2 away as Kirk is retired. It'll bring up the center fielder Nathan Lucas. Blue Jays wearing traditional gray road uniforms with blue and white numerals on the back and blue lettering.
Yeah, I was looking at Kirk's numbers, and they're not very good, but he has been hurt. He broke his thumb in April, and he's only, he doesn't have 50 at-bats yet in the season.
The pitch to Lucas is a called strike. Fastball on the outer edge, 0-1. Blue Jays have blue batting helmets. The batter Lucas wearing gray shoes today. Brown peers in, gets the sign from Kelly. Straightens up, sets above the belt. The kick and pitch is low and inside, 1-1. And the uniform description, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Knuckle curve from Brown, 1-2. Picture perfect afternoon here at Wrigley Field. Not a cloud in the sky at the moment. The pitch. And this is a one-hopper fielded on the outfield grass by Swanson. He whirls and throws to first in time to get Lucas. Blue Jays go down in order here on the top of the second. Middle 2, no score by the Blue Jays in the second. The Cubs with a 7-0 lead over Toronto as we head to the bottom of the second on the Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume really matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
First, I take a sabbatical, then do absolutely nothing.
Glorious. But what? You'd win the New York lottery, then do nothing?
Well, I'd also commission a cutting-edge mobile bed, so I never stop doing nothing, even when I leave my house.
Locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Bring your group together. Wrigley Field's largest suite, the Bleacher Suite, sits above the batter's eye and features an all-inclusive menu, ideal for networking and socializing. Learn more at Cubs.com/premier. Here's Zach.
Thank you very much, Judson. Seiya Suzuki at the plate. He swings and hits a pop fly left side near the line. It's the shortstop Jimenez in foul territory, but this one's in the stands out of play. 0-1 the count on Seiya. Bottom of the second inning, Cubs up 7-0. Seiya got the scoring started in the first. A 7-run first for the Cubs. He had a 2-run double the other way to right. Kevin Gausman still in there. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1. Suzuki hitting at .265 with 10 home runs on the year. The 1-1 from Gausman. Off the outside, 2-1 now.
And he's still having issues trying to figure out what pitch to throw for a strike and where it's going. That last one, he pulled that slider way down and away.
The 2-1. Low and outside, another slider that missed, 3-1.
And that's another one. That's just a pulled slider. You know, he usually has very good command and knows where his pitches are going. He's trying to throw that slider on the outer third for a strike and has not been able to.
Seiya swings and misses at a splitter, 3-2. Ian Happ on deck to be followed by Matt Shaw. 7-0 Cubs. No one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Gausman taking his time. Now the payoff pitch. Seiya swings, line drive, base hit to left. Second hit of the ball game for Seiya. We just started the second.
This is a bullet to left. This is a hanging split. Doesn't do much. Stays about knee high, right in the middle of the plate. Gausman's lucky he gets the ball back. That one could have ended up on Waveland Avenue.
He's thrown 50 pitches so far. Again, no one out here in the second. Cubs have Suzuki at first base. And now Ian Happ at the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He walked in the first. Gausman kicks and fires. Happ swings and misses at a fastball. 0-1.
I know what Toronto would like to have happen is him settle down. And even though the game is kind of lopsided already, you want to get, some innings so you don't kill your bullpen in game one of a 3-game series here in Chicago. That pitch misses wide. There comes a time when you got to look at your starter, and he's one of your main guys. And we'll see how much longer they go with him. If Happer gets a hit, Fisher not warming up, he sat down, but he's got to be ready to go in a couple tosses.
A 1-1 is low. 2-1 now. He's Happ laid off the splitter.
And he's back up again. I got to believe this is, you can't, 53 pitches. We got nobody out in the second.
Get you a station identification here shortly. Happ at the plate with a 2-1 count. Suzuki at first. No one out here. Bottom of the second inning. Cubs with a 7-0 lead over Toronto. Gausman sets, kicks, and fires. And Happ fouls it back. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us. Spiegel and Holmes, afternoons 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score. On Odyssey Sports Station, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat. 2-2 the count on Ian Happ, and the pitch. Up high. Worked a full count. Cubs with a 7-0 lead over the Blue Jays. No one out here at the bottom of the second inning. A man at first. And this is just the opener of a 3-game weekend set. Seiya being held on at first by Guerrero. The payoff pitch. Happ taps it foul at the plate. Just getting a piece of a splitter. Count remains 3-2. Guys, we've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
He sounded excited.
I love looking out at the stands here at Wrigley Field when you know the place is jam-packed. The payoff pitch. Happ swings and misses. Strike 3. Gausman gets him with a fastball. One away. I'm going to go 40,100.
Got it. It's a big number. Tell you what, the neighborhood, even getting here early this morning, you and I both got here before 10 o'clock this morning, and the neighborhood was packed. Just going around the neighborhood, driving through, it's bustling.
Matt Shaw swings and loops one into shallow center field. Diving in and making the catch is Lucas. A nice play. Shaw's retired. 2 away.
Yeah, center fielder got a bad break on this ball. He couldn't judge it real well and then had to come in and then dives and makes a nice catch on this ball. going into left center. But I think for a lot of guys, you haven't played here a lot. You're trying to figure out, what the ball's doing, and seeing it off the bat here at Wrigley is always, during day games early, is always an issue for opposing players.
Nico Horner at the plate. And the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Kirk. Suzuki stays at first, 1-0 the count.
Kirk's had a workout here in the first 2 innings. He's caught half a ball game where the pitch is. We got 2 outs in the second.
I mean, the next pitch by Gausman is going to be number 60 in the game, just 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Suzuki at first base, Cubs up 7-0. Now the 1-0. Horner swings, and pops it up, foul out of play, off to the right. Behind the Blue Jays dugout along the first baseline. So 1-1 the count on Nico. So do you have a guess in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game?
Yeah, I will go. You're 40,100.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'll say 40,300.
I love the dramatic pause. The 1-1 is low again. 2-1 now on Nico. Judson, what's your guess?
I mean, only seems right. I should go 40,200.
Okay.
And after this
Hey,
pitch,
Ziggy, what do you got up there, Ziggy?
He's got a good chance to win. That's what he's got.
Does he? Here comes the 2-1. Gausman to Horner. Line drive down the left field line. This will drop in for a base hit and bounce into the ivy for a ground rule double. Extra base hit for Nico Horner. I believe earlier during the broadcast, Judson, in his Bosch prediction, said that Nico would come up with an extra base hit today.
You're 2 days in a row. You and I are flying the circuit tonight to Vegas. We're going to go there. That's where we're going tonight. Oh, Derek, we need a plane to get us to Vegas. We got to be back in the morning, but that's all right.
I like this.
I'm going to use my prediction in the highlight show, the postgame.
Very much so.
You should. Suzuki has to stop at third after the ground rule double. So men at second and third for the Cubs, 2 away. Bottom 2, they lead 7-0. Carson Kelly at the plate. The pitch. And Kelly looks at a ball low, a splitter that missed. Kelly's first time up featured the biggest hit of the ball game, a grand slam to left center, 428 feet. Righty-righty matchup as Gausman deals. Kelly looks at a ball way outside, a fastball that missed, 2-0. All right, so what is the guess of our world-famous engineer, the maestro, Paul Zarang?
39,222. 2, that is, says Paul Zarang.
Ah, boy, Ziggy.
The 2-0 delivery. Kelly takes a strike, a splitter that just clipped the bottom edge of the zone, 2-1. Kelly now hitting at 282 on the year with 4 home runs. Gausman delivers. Kelly takes ball 3 low. It's now 3-1. Light wind blowing from right to left at the moment. Suzuki at third, Horner at second. 3-1 the count on Kelly with 2 away here in the second. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2. I believe that was the 3rd straight splitter from Gausman.
Yeah, Gausman throws, if he's not the leader in the league with the amount of splits he throws, percentage-wise like in a game, if he's not the number 1 guy, he's right there at top 2 or 3. Shota would be another guy that's right up there at the top.
Kelly swings and misses. Guess what? Another splitter. That's strike 3. And it ends the second inning. Cubs leave 2, but after 2, it's a 7-0 lead for the Cubs over the Blue Jays on the Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. I'm John Moore.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker, too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B.
I'm proud of it.
Top of the third inning, 7-0 Cubs over the Blue Jays. 74 degrees at first pitch. Our time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Here's Zach and Coombe.
Thank you very much, Judson. If you're just tuning in, man, you've missed a lot. Cubs up 7-0 as we get ready to start the top of the third here at Wrigley Field. Kazama Okamoto will lead things off for the Blue Jays. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Ben Brown, who works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. Sets above the belt, works his motion and deals. And a high fly ball hit deep down the left field line, but hooking way foul out of play. 0-1 on Okamoto.
And this third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union. People in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go. Consumers Credit Union.
Okamoto swings, and it's a high fly ball deep center. Kerr Armstrong back fighting the sun on the track near the wall. Makes the catch just to the left of the 400-foot marker in center field. One away.
Okamoto, their leading home run hitter with 15 bombs. And he just missed one there. Pete goes right back, probably a step and a half in front of the ivy and the 400-foot mark.
Here's Davis Schneider, the second baseman. Right-handed batter, open stance, hits out of a crouch. Brown's ready, works his motion and deals. And misses low. 1-0 the count. Bounced that curveball in the dirt. The next pitch is a bullseye for a strike, 94 miles per hour.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
They're going to challenge this. Ball strike challenge is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
It's right at the bottom of the zone as we take a look at the
Let's see what we get here.
Monitor.
Pitch is
The
low.
call is overturned. Toronto has 2 remaining.
Yeah, that's a good eye by Davis Schneider.
Ball missed by probably the width of the seams of the baseball.
So 2-0 the count, the pitch. Schneider pops it up. Right side on the infield bush, halfway between first and second on the dirt, makes the catch. 2 away. And you can really tell the sun and wind maybe a little bit is playing a role today.
I think it's the sun, and then the wind is making it a little more difficult because it's blowing the ball. But I think the guys are really struggling with the sun more than anything. You're looking up and you're trying to move your body around to where you're getting the ball out of the sun, the direct sun, but it's not easy when that ball goes straight up.
Andres Jimenez at the plate and looks at a sinker for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Pete had trouble with the first ball. He was shading his eyes the whole way and then played the ball right to where he was holding the glove to shade his eyes, which is doing it exactly the way you should.
The next pitch is high and outside. 1-1 the count on Jimenez. I'm glad you explained that. You know, it's a Friday afternoon game. It's Juneteenth, so we know a lot of kids are listening, driving around with the parents. The 1-1. Line drive down the right field line. This will drop in fair and roll all the way to the corner. Jimenez digging for second and gets there standing up. So the first hit of the ball game for the Blue Jays comes with 2 away here in the top of the third. A double for Andres Jimenez.
Now Brownie just going ahead and trying to throw strikes. He's got a big lead, and he threw that 2-seamer, little sinker in, and Jimenez just hooked it down into the corner. Coming in live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
George Springer now the batter. He flied out his first time up. Right-handed hitter with 7 home runs this season. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Brown peers in, gets the sign from Kelly. I'll explain why Coombs laughing in a sec. The pitch is in there for a strike, another knuckle curve.
So Zach's a little sensitive to the birds. We've had some issues here with Zach doing play-by-play with the bird. The birds, not bird.
And not the seagulls. We're talking about the pigeons.
Yeah, the pigeons like Zach.
Here's the 0-2. Springer lines one over a leaping Swanson in left center field for a base hit. Around third, digging for home, Schneider. Throw goes to second base by Happ. RBI single by George Springer. And it is now 7-1 Cubs over the Blue Jays here in inning number 3.
Oh, high fastball, middle of the plate. Springer, a very good hitter. He gets on top of this ball and hits a bullet right over Dansby's head at short and in the left center for a base knock to drive in Toronto's first run of the game.
I may have said Schneider scored. Jimenez scored. 7-1 Blue Jays as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looks at a sinker inside. 1-0 the count. Yeah, for whatever reason, every time I fill in for Pat, the pigeons seem to want to get really close to the home radio broadcast booth here at Wrigley Field.
In particular, your side of the booth.
Yes, I don't understand
it's very
why.
entertaining.
The 1-0, check swing, doesn't matter, called strike. 1-1.
Ziggy, you'd think I paid the birds to do that to him, but I didn't, you know.
You're not that powerful. But if you could, you would. Springer at first, 2 away. Here's the 1-1. Guerrero cracks it on the ground, fielded on a high hop by Swanson, flips to second in time for the force. That ends the top of the third. The Blue Jays do get on the board. It's now 7-1 Cubs, middle 3 on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume really matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
I'd finally have time to reread my favorite fantasy book.
Dig deeper. We're imagining winning the New York lottery here.
Okay, I'd build my own reading nook right where the sun hits.
You're getting warmer.
The French sun. I'll buy a villa in Marseille. Wait, what's the French word for sun?
I don't know.
Bottom of the third, Cubs lead the Blue Jays by a score of 7-1. Dansby Swanson will get the Cubs started. Who's on deck? Sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Thank you very much, Judson. New man on the mound for the Blue Jays to begin the bottom of the third inning. Right-hander Braden Fisher takes over, 2-2 with a 3.26 ERA in 37 games this season. Dansby Swanson will dig in. Cubs up 7-0. The opener of a 3-game set. First pitch, foul back off the screen to the right by Fisher. Count 0-1. Dansby singled, stolen base, and scored a run in that 7-run first inning for the Cubs. Maybe that home run the other day against Colorado will get Swanson going. Here's the 0-1 delivery. It's low. Dansby entered today's ball game hitting 146 over his last 30 games, but a nice start to this one with the single.
Yeah, got a good fastball to hit inner half and hit a bullet to left. That is a good start for Dansby.
0-1. High and inside. 2-1 now on Swanson. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by our good friends at Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Swanson pulls one on the ground, foul off to the left. 2-2 now the count.
Speaking of our friends from Sloan, I got a text today from Graham Allen. Graham, one of the owners of Sloan, great guy, him and his brothers. We've all become friends through the years. Kirk and Jimmy, yeah.
The 2-2, way outside. Swanson's worked a full count. Enormous Cub fans.
Yeah, great. Obviously, the ballpark in Mesa is Sloan Park, one of the best spring training facilities in the country. But they're big Cub fans. Great guys, too.
Swanson steps out of the box. And now digs back in. Hits out of a crouch. Stands deep in the box. Slightly open stance. Uses a toe tap. Fisher works on the first base side of the rubber. The pitch. Foul back. Count remains 3-2.
That was a pretty good swing by Dansby on that slider, even though it was a little down or bottom of the zone. He went down there and got it with his eyes, and that's a good sign. You know, the thing you don't want to do is you see that ball down and you're coming off of it and your eyes are coming away from the ball instead of at the ball.
Swanson hits a ground ball to short, fielded by Jimenez. Couple of steps forward. His throw in time. Swanson's retired, one away.
You know, in hitting, you don't want your head to move a lot. You just don't. But you do want your head to turn and track the ball to the barrel and then have your eyes follow the ball to the barrel when you're hitting it. And, you know, sometimes when you're struggling, that's the first thing to look for. Is your eyes aren't tracking the ball well. That time Dansby had a good couple of bats for at least that part of the swing.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate, loops one into shallow left center field. It may drop. It does. Second single of the ball game for PCA. And when you're as hot as he's been, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, Pete's third at bat of the ball game, and we're in the third inning with only one out. And this ball jams him. But, you know, when you get jammed by a pitch and you hit it the other way, that means the swing is going the right direction. Your timing might have been a little off on that pitch, but the swing was very good, and he dumps that one in short left center field for a knock.
7-1 Cubs here in the bottom of the third inning. 1 on, 1 out. Alex Bregman at the plate and looks at a ball inside, 1-0. Bregman has reached base twice today, a walk and an RBI single. PCA, by the way, now riding a 22-game on-base streak, during which he's batting about 400. As Bregman looks at a ball off the outside, 2-0.
Now, we were talking on Pete probably a few weeks ago about him starting to use the other side, and he's making some outs. He flew out deep a couple times to left center.
Bregman looks at a strike, a slider that spins into the zone.
And he was a little late on a couple pitches that he was hitting, you know, over down the left field line, and just a little late, right? And I thought, now that he is getting close now. Now that's where you know that the hitters are starting. He's getting on time instead of out in front all the time. And it sure showed. He has been red hot.
Pitch low. Check swing by Bregman on appeal. No swing. Count is 3-1. There's a slow-moving curveball from Fisher. Bottom three, Cubs up 7-1, 1 on, 1 out. Bregman waits for the 3-1. He swings, line drive caught by Jimenez, throw to first, and PCA able to dive back in safely. 2 away.
Line drive at the shortstop, and Jimenez gets this ball and fires to first. A little low hop, but boy, what a great pick at first base by Guerrero. And then Pete barely gets back.
All right, so here is Michael Busch. I think he's the bushy Cub who hasn't reached base today. 0 for 2, the pitch. Misses off the outside. 1-0.
See if Bushy can fix that right here.
It's a righty-lefty matchup with Fisher on the mound and Busch at the plate. Fisher takes a peek at first. That's where Crow Armstrong is. And the 1-0. High and outside to Busch with a fastball. 2-0 the count. Cubs first base coach Jose Javier having a conversation with PCA. He extends his lead off the first base bag, being held on by Guerrero. The 2-0. Outside again to Busch. 3-0. Seiya Suzuki on deck. He's 2 for 2 today, including a 2-run double. Again, we're only in the third.
Yeah.
The 3-0. Called strike. Busch was taken all the way, and Fisher spun a slider in there. Busch waits. Long set. And now the 3-1. It's low. Ball 4. So now the Cubs have 2 on with 2 away, and Seiya Suzuki will bat once again.
3-0, 3-1 slider from Fisher. I'll tell you that he has more confidence by far in the slider command than he does his fastball.
Be interesting if in the on-deck circle, Seiya was following along like you just did and picked up that quick scouting report. 2 on, 2 away. Cubs up 7-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Suzuki waits. Fisher deals. And that pitch is a curveball that floats into the zone for a strike, 0-1.
It's kind of an old-fashioned curveball over the top. Kind of a 12-6 curveball.
Fisher checks second. That's where Crow Armstrong is. A long set. Here's the 0-1. Seiya pops it up. Left side on the outfield grass. It's the shortstop Jimenez fighting the sun. Makes the catch. And then juggles the ball and caught it again. That's why you heard the crowd go ooh and ah there. Out number 3. Cubs strand 2. We head to the 4th. 7-1 Cubs over the Blue Jays. On the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
If If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading.
Tails.
Top of the fourth inning we go. Cubs lead the Blue Jays 7-1. Out-of-town Scoreboard, sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon.
As Jesus Sanchez looks at a ball outside, 1-0 the count.
So close, Zach. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. We'll take you around the NL Central in just a moment, Zach.
Ben Brown on the mound. Here's the pitch to Sanchez. That misses outside again. 2-0 the count. We are in the top of the fourth. Cubs up 7-1 over the Jays.
So the rest of the NL Central actually is on the road. Reds are at the Yankees. Brewers at the Braves. Cardinals at the Royals. Pirates are at the Rockies.
Thank you very much. Here comes the 2-0. Soft-moving ground ball hit to short, fielded by Swanson. Running throw to first in time to get Sanchez. One away. And the first out is sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
A good start to the inning. Browning, a little soft little ground ball to Dansby to get the first out. And that's what Browning is going to be looking to do, getting quick outs and stay on that mound and keep this lead at 7-1.
Yohendrick Pinango at the plate, and he looks at a fastball for a strike. The count is 0-1. Pinango, a one-time Cub farmhand. He was traded to Toronto. Remember the deal that brought the hard-throwing right-hander Nate Pearson to the Cubs? As that pitch just fouled back. Looked like it took a bite out of Carson Kelly. 0-2 the count. Happened back in 2024. That's where Pinango ended up going to the Blue Jays. The 0-2. Popped up left side, foul territory, but this one blows into the stands. 0-2.
Now Nance warming up in the bullpen for Blue Jays. They may, try to do a one inning plus for a bunch of guys and see if they can not everybody get a little use but not burn out any one guy too bad and kind of keep their bullpen intact without having to make a roster move for tomorrow's game.
Yeah. Pinango fouled back that last pitch out of play. The next pitch outside, 1-2. Yeah, Kevin Gausman, the starter, went just 2 innings. Charged with all 7 runs on 7 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. He threw 68 pitches. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Outside to Pinango, 2-2 the count. 1 down here in the top of the fourth. Cubs with a 7-1 lead. Brown working on the first base side of the rubber. Sets above the belt, works his motion and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As he gets Pinango with a knuckle curve. And Coom, you know what that means. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Great pitch by Brownie. This is the perfect knuckle curve for the punch-out. It starts out mid-thigh. You're on it as the hitter. You're thinking this is going to be a strike, and it ends up in the hitting zone just above the shoe tops. Perfect location for Brownie with that knuckle curve.
Alejandro Kirk swings and misses. Took a hefty cut at another knuckle curve from Ben Brown. The count is 0-1. 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Cubs 7, Blue Jays 1. Kirk flat out his first time up. Stocky right-handed batter, but powerful. The 0-1. Another swing and miss as Brown doubles up on the knuckle curve. 0-2.
Yeah, we're talking on Kirk's first at bat. He's only got 36 at bats. He had a fractured thumb. Went on the injured list in April.
He swings and misses at a third straight knuckle curve. Strike 3. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Blue Jays go down in order here in the top of the fourth. Middle four. 7-1 Cubs on the score. And the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda. with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally, take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints.com.
7-1 Cubs as we make our way to the bottom of the fourth inning. Hey, Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score and the Odyssey app. Here's Zach and Coom.
Judson, thank you. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Blue Jays to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. It's former Cub Tommy Nance who takes over. 1-2 this season, 25 games, a 4.38 ERA. Cubs up 7-1 over Toronto as Ian Happ will dig in. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Ian Happ at the plate. The pitch is low for a ball. Now, as I was reading that commercial read for Sloan moments ago, I saw you out of the corner of my eye, Coom, point to the video board, which means I missed something good.
I'm not quite sure about that.
Here's the 1-0. Happ looks at a ball high and outside. It's 2-0.
There is a group here in the suites that there had to be 20 of them. How many seats are in the suite? 18 to 25, depending on which one you have, or 30-person suite, something like that.
Right. The 2-0 delivery to Happ. He swings, lines one deep down the right field line, and this one will be a foul ball. It's out of our view. 2-1 the count.
That ball hooks down the right field line about 2 rows deep. But they're all dressed in superhero outfits.
Oh.
Yeah. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, Zach-Man.
It's a very different kind of superhero.
He's got red hair, that guy.
He's handsome. The 2-1. This is fisted foul out of play off to the left. My hair was a big topic of conversation in the clubhouse.
And the manager show everywhere. Yeah, you big hit today.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I would say I was noticeable, but hit is a different story. 2-2 the count. Man steals, and Happ looks at a ball low. He's worked a full count.
Was that the Joker, Coom?
Oh, now see, we're getting somewhere. There you go. Now he would be the villain, right?
Yes. A lot of interesting villains in the Batman series. Here's the payoff pitch. Happ swings, and it's a high fly ball to left center field, ranging over Lucas at the track near the wall, has a play and makes the catch right in front of the 368 marker in left center field, allowed out by Happ, one away.
Ball well struck. Ian hits this ball right into left center. Yeah, and Lucas makes this catch, and he's probably one step in front of that 368 marker to haul this one in.
Here comes Matt Shaw with one down in the bottom of the fourth. Cubs leading the Blue Jays 7-1. Shaw, the right fielder today. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Nance. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And a slider, 0-1. Cubs made a move prior to today's ball game. They recalled outfielder Justin Dean. He's a speed threat. Played with the Dodgers last season, including the World Series against these Blue Jays. The 0-1. Fouled off the netting to the right by Shaw. 0-2 the count. To bring up Dean, the Cubs sent down Moises Ballesteros. He was hitting .231 with 6 home runs and 23 RBIs in 59 games for the Cubs this season.
Yeah, Ballesteros, he got off to a great start, a great spring, got off to a great start, and then, has had some issues. The league kind of just changed their pattern against him.
Shaw hits a high fly ball deep left center field. Going back, Pinango at the track has a play right in front of the wall. He makes the catch. Another loud out, this time by Shaw, 2 away.
Shaw hits this ball pretty well. It's breaking ball inside. He hits it off the end of the bat just enough to keep it in the ballpark. Well, we're talking about Ballesteros, and, I think early in the season, they went soft on him and trying to throw soft stuff, and that was right in his wheelhouse, and he had a great start to the year. Then they changed from that to more hard stuff up.
Nico Horner swings, fouls this one out of play off to the right, 0-1.
And that got him into some bad habits, chasing the high fastball, and he never really got out of that habit. And then from there, you become a lot more vulnerable when you're chasing balls out of the zone, and I just think he'll go back down to the minor leagues and get a bunch of at-bats regularly and see if he can get them back on track, because he has a great swing.
The 0-1, Nico grounds one softly to third, fielded by a charging Okamoto. His throw to first in time to get a hustling Horner for out number 3. Cubs go down in order here in the bottom of the 4th. We head to the 5th. Cubs up 7-1 over the Blue Jays on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Spiegel and Holmes, great Cubs guests and more on your way home 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's
B.com today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Top of the 5th here at Wrigley Field. It's the Cubs 7, Blue Jays 1. Ben Brown on the mound. The batter, Nathan Lucas, left-handed hitting center fielder against the right-hander Brown, who kicks and fires. And Lucas looks at a knuckle curve for a strike. 0-1 the count. Cubs struck for all of their runs in the first inning. The big hit, a Carson Kelly grand slam off of Kevin Gausman. The pitch. Off the outside, check swing. Did he go on appeal? No, says Mike Estabrook, the third base umpire. Count 1-1 on Lucas. Ben Brown has been phenomenal since entering the rotation. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Lucas. And a fastball, 1-2. So entering play today, Coombs. 7 starts since moving into the rotation this season for Brown. A 1.49 ERA.
Been outstanding. Since he's been thrown into this situation.
Lucas lines one to left center field past a diving PCA. This will roll all the way to the wall, and Lucas ends up at second base with a double.
Line driving the gap in left center. Pete he gets good break on this ball, but it's just a line drive. And he lays out. He just comes up short and doesn't make contact with the ball. And then once it gets past him, it's going to go all the way to the ivy. Ian has to chase this ball down, and it'll be an easy stand-up double.
Kazama Okamoto at the plate. Powerful right-handed batter. The pitch is inside for a ball as Brown misses with a knuckle curve. It's a 7-1 lead for the Cubs. With no one out here in the top of the fifth. Lucas with good speed at second base. The pitch. Okamoto pulls one on the ground. Behind third, fielded by Bregman. His throw across in time. One away. Staying at second, Lucas.
Okamoto, he is a guy that I'm looking forward to watching hit and take batting practice and just kind of see him. He's off to a great start. 15 bombs already this season.
A first out, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. Davis Schneider digs in, right-handed batter. And he looks at a knuckle curve. That's called a ball, but Carson Kelly will challenge, and Kelly has an excellent hit rate when it comes to these challenges from behind the plate. Taking a look at the replay, and it is a ball.
The call is confirmed. Chicago has one challenge remaining.
Just high along the inner edge. So the Cubs lose a challenge, which is a lot easier to take when you're up 7-1.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
Here in the fifth inning. Brown checks second. That's where Lucas is. The 1-0, and Schneider takes a big swing and a miss at a knuckle curve. So 1-1 the count. Blue Jays entering play today 37-38 after sweeping the Red Sox to start the week at Fenway. Now the 1-1. Schneider hits a high fly ball, left center field. Crow Armstrong fighting the sun. Just short of the track, makes the catch to the left of the 368 marker, 2 away.
This ball skied to left center. Pete has showed all, the couple fly balls, the real high fly balls have been an issue for everybody. Yeah, Pete makes that play, but I'm sure your eyes are burning right about now because everybody's having trouble with the sun.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky directly above Wrigley Field at the moment. Andres Jimenez at the plate. The pitch. That's in there for a strike, a sinker from Brown, 0-1. Lucas at second base with 2 away here in the top of the fifth. Cubs with a 7-1 lead over Toronto. Brown checks second, works his motion and deals. And a big swing and a miss by Jimenez in the hole, 0-2, blazing 97-mile-per-hour heater. But yeah, it is surprising that the Blue Jays, who came this close to winning the championship last year, upgraded. Okamoto, one of the reasons. They added Dylan Cease. But it hasn't clicked so far this season for Toronto. The 0-2. And a high fly ball to left, angling toward the line. Happ, he's fighting the sun, makes the catch. Out number 3, Lucas stranded at second base after a leadoff double. Middle 5, Cubs 7, Toronto 1 on the Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints.
We're more than just amazing suits.
Tuesday, June 30th is University of Michigan night. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive a special edition New Era Cubs in Michigan cap. Here's Zach.
Judson, thank you. Carson Kelly digs in. Tommy Nance steals, and Kelly looks at a strike. Slider right along the outside edge. Count 0-1. Cubs with a 7-1 lead over the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Kelly, a big reason why, hit a grand slam in a 7-run first inning. The pitch. Kelly check swing at a pitch off the outside on appeal. No swing, says Malachi Moore, the first base umpire. Cubs historian Ed Hartig pointing something interesting out. And I'll share it following this pitch. The 1-1. Slow-moving bouncing ball to short. Charging Jimenez. Fields on a belt-high hop. Throw across in time to get Kelly. One away here in the bottom of the fifth. So with today's 7-run first inning, the Cubs have recorded 7-run innings in back-to-back games for the first time since 2001. And Coom, it's the first time it's happened at Wrigley Field since 1984.
Really?
How about that?
So 2001. That was the ball club I was on here in Chicago for the Cubs.
Dansby Swanson fouls back the first pitch he sees from Nance, 0-1. In 2001, it was a July 4th game against the Mets. Cubs scored 7 runs in an inning in that game, and then a July 5th game in Detroit. And I'm sure you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one. I had a pretty good day that day.
Swanson looks at a ball off the outside, 0-1. I can fire up the Google machine, but somehow I don't think I have to. I think you can recall what you did in that game off the top of your head.
I had a good game. We'll leave it at that.
You're going to make me look it up, aren't you? Here's the 1-1. Swanson looks at the ball inside. It's now 2-1.
I got a couple hits. Might have drove in a few runs. It was all good.
Yeah.
We won. That was the key.
You're always all about the team, even here in the booth, so I appreciate that. The 2-1. Swanson fouls it back. 2-2 the count.
Coom, what happened on July 4th?
On July 4th, I'm not sure. Fireworks went off.
Yeah.
Not for you.
That's all right.
Pretty good hitter in front of you, though.
Slamming Sammy. He hit in front of me that day.
Swanson, it's a ground ball to third. Bobbled behind the bag by Okamoto. His throw to first, not in time. Swanson beats it out.
Yeah, hard to hit ground ball, and Okamoto kind of gets his feet stuck. He doesn't move them at all. And he's just going to field this ball, and that makes it very difficult on an infielder. If you don't get any movement going, everything gets stiff, and, I always call it stuck. You're stuck there, and that ball ate him up and just was unable to field it cleanly.
Time called, and manager John Schneider making the walk out to the mound. He wants the baseball from the right-hander Nance, and we're going to have a pitching change here at Wrigley Field. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.com. And with the fielding error that allows Dansby Swanson to reach, a reminder that errors by Cubs opponents are sponsored by North Shore, the MVP of adult diapers. For even the heaviest control problems, visit NorthShore.com. Pitching change here at the friendly confines. Bottom 5, 1 away. Cubs up 7-1. This is the score. The Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago. This is Pete Crow Armstrong. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Corn isn't just grown here, it works here.
Illinois corn is a real heavy hitter, leading the nation in output and driving a $148 billion economic impact statewide. From jobs and products to opportunities in communities across Illinois, corn keeps our economy moving season after season. From first pitch to the final out, corn delivers for Illinois. Learn more about our homegrown economy made possible with corn at watchusgrow.org/corn.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with the new limited time deals from Lowe's.
South Africa opens the tournament against co-host Mexico in a fitting spotlight. Bafana are an energetic, attack-minded side led by a mobile striker and fueled by wide play, always capable of the spectacular on a big stage.
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Back in Wrigley Field, where you're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Cubs have a man on base with one away and a 7-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Left-hander Brendan Little takes over. Face Pete Crow Armstrong. He's reached base 3 times so far today. A walk and a couple of singles. Lefty-lefty matchup. Little kicks and delivers, and PCA looks at a ball up high. And the Blue Jays are going to challenge this. Alejandro Kirk immediately tapping the top of his head after that pitch was called a ball. And it did clip the zone.
Toronto has 2 remaining.
Right at the top along the outside edge. So the count 0-1 now on PCA.
Ball strike challenge is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
Third baseman Okamoto in. Swanson at first, being held on by Guerrero. The 0-1. So Armstrong looks at a ball low. 1-1 the count. So in that game, July 5th, 2001, this was an impressive game by you, Kuhn. The pitch off the outside. So 2-1 the count. This was the game against the Mets. And Kuhn, you had 4 hits, drove in 4 runs, left the yard once in that game.
Old Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Yep,
Swanson goes. The pitch is low and outside for a ball. 3-1. Give Dansby a stolen base. No throw by Kirk.
Dansby kind of hop, and go. It's always surprising to me when a lefty's looking right at the guy and he doesn't step off when the guy takes off early.
Here comes the 3-1. That's way outside to PCA. Ball 4. So once again, the Cubs putting pressure on the Blue Jays. Men at first and second with one down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Got a 7-1 lead, and Alex Bregman will dig in.
Now, you had to go to a lot of ball games at Shea, right?
Did.
Yeah.
Very different ballpark than the one we're in right now.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Or the one on the other side of town in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old one, Yankee Stadium.
I you know what? I really like what they did now for the Mets. The new ballpark, Citibank Field.
Yeah.
Citi Field. Beautiful ballpark.
Alex Bregman at the plate. He looks at a strike from Little. Fastball clocked at 96 miles per hour, 0-1.
And it's made for good stories and everything. You know, it's very good. Yeah.
We'll be there.
That was for you, Pat.
A line drive hit to right. Dropping back, Sanchez makes the catch. Tagging and heading to third is Swanson. Throw goes to second base. So the Cubs now have men at the corners with 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Michael Busch will stand in.
So, folks, Pat has a few days off he is taking, and he is fine. He's hanging out at the house. Let's see, it's 3 o'clock. Cubs up 7-1. Fetch in the backyard with the dogs about now, and salmon in about an hour and a half. What do you think? Am I
100%.
close?
Yeah,
Am I close?
It's like you know the routine.
Yeah.
Good scouting report, Kuhn. Michael Busch at the plate. Brendan Little on the mound working on the first base side of the rubber. The left-hander deals, and Busch looks at a strike. Slider that spins into the zone on the inside edge. 0-1 the count. Swanson at third. Crow Armstrong at first. You got to figure he will be running here at some point. And a throw over to first. That one high. Guerrero had to lunge to make the catch.
That one, that's about as close as you can come to throwing the ball away. Guerrero does a great job of going and getting this ball. I mean, he has to go around Pete and the ball thrown way in behind Pete Crow Armstrong as he's going back to the bag.
So men at the corners. Pete Crow Armstrong, big lead at first. Swanson at third. The batter, Bush, 0-1 the count. Little sets above the belt, looks at first, and deals. Bush swings, and it's a high fly ball down the left field line, ranging over Piñango near the sidewall, but this one's out of play in the stands. 0-2.
Wind might be picking up just a little bit, blowing towards that left field corner. Maybe towards the foul pole from right to left. And any ball going down that left field line now is going to get pushed into the seats if it's down the line.
Cubs looking to add to their lead. They're up 7-1 here with 2 away in the last of the fifth. Men at the corners. Bush waits for the 0-2. Little delivers. That one's low. 1-2, a knuckle curve.
Coming to you live all season long in the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Bush hits out of a crouch from the left side. Little working on the extreme first base side of the rubber. PCA extends his lead off the first base bag. He goes. The pitch. Check swing. No throw by Kirk. It's low and outside. Ball 2. Stolen base for PCA. That's his second of the ball game. He now has 18 on the year.
Another, big jump by Pete. He's going first movement, and this isn't even going to. Kirk's not even going to think of throwing to second base. Pete steals that base standing up.
But a base hit here can bring home 2 runs. Bush waits for the 2-2. The pitch. Pulled on the ground, foul off to the right. Swanson at third base. Crow Armstrong at second. 2 away, bottom of the fifth inning. Bush at the plate with a 2-2 count. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Every Cub has reached base in this game so far. The 2-2. Low. Pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Kirk, so Bush has worked a full count. Swanson at third base. Crow Armstrong at second. 3-2 the count on the batter, Bush, with Brendan Little on the mound. Lefty-lefty matchup. 7-1 Cubs over the Blue Jays. A long set, and now the payoff pitch. Bush grounds one right back to the pitcher, Little. Underhand toss to Guerrero at first in time for out number 3. Cubs leave 2 in scoring position. We head to inning number 6. Cubs 7, Blue Jays 1 on the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you.
Cubs with a 7-1 lead over the Blue Jays as we begin the top half of the sixth inning here at Wrigley Field. Ben Brown on the mound, George Springer at the plate. And Brown deals. Springer looks at a ball low, a sinker that missed. 1-0 the count. Cubs scoring all of their runs in the first inning. The big hit, a grand slam by Carson Kelly. Seiya Suzuki also had a 2-run double in the frame. The pitch. Check swing, doesn't matter. Called strike, a knuckle curve that floats into the zone. 1-1 the count on Springer. Blue Jays with just 3 hits, one of them an RBI single by the man at the plate, Springer. It came in the third. The pitch. A ground ball foul off to the left by Springer. 1-2 the count. Brown working on the first base side of the rubber, sets above the belt, works his motion. Here comes the 1-2. That one misses. High and inside with a knuckle curve. 2-2 the count now with Springer at the plate.
That pitch just missed inside by Brownie. That knuckle curve, that was a pretty good one, even though it was high.
Now the pitch. High fly ball hit to deep left. Happ goes back at the track near the wall, looks up, it's gone. Just above the auxiliary scoreboard in straight left. George Springer with a solo shot to begin the sixth inning for the Blue Jays. It's now 7-2 Cubs.
Yeah, this ball's well struck, no doubt. Springer, quality hitter. He's not off to the best of starts for him, but, you know, you make a mistake against him and he can make you pay. Brownie trying to stay aggressive, and I don't mind that at all. You stay aggressive and stay in the strike zone and keep churning out innings. You know, the solo shots aren't going to kill you when you're up 7-1.
The first home run Brown has given up in a long time. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at the plate. He pops up the first pitch, shallow right center, dropping back to second baseman Horner, gives way to Shaw, finding the sun, makes the catch for out number 1. A first out sponsored by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams, Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
The batter, Jesus Sanchez. Brown starts him off with a fastball low, 1-0 the count, alongside Ron Coomer. Zach Zaidman in for Pat today. We are in the top half of the sixth inning. 7-2 Cubs over the Blue Jays, the opener of a 3-game set. The 1-0 from Brown. Sanchez looks at a fastball for a strike, 1-1. So Brown entered play today with 61 2/3 consecutive innings of homerless baseball until that home run moments ago to begin the sixth inning by George Springer of the Blue Jays.
It's impressive, right? It really is. What he has done since being thrown into the rotation, his first couple starts where he was still on kind of a pitch count, and since then he has just taken off. You know, it's been fun to watch. We always talk about this. It's fun to watch young players get an opportunity and then really take advantage, and I think Browning is one of those.